they stumbled upon something bizarre. Chunks of ice were lying on the desert ground, but the temperature was a scorching 40 degrees Celsius. Mike thought his eyes were playing tricks on him. He stuck out his foot and stepped on one to check. The ice cracked under his foot. There was actual ice forming on the ground. The whole scene started to feel seriously off, so they jumped in the car and decided to get out of there fast. What they didn't realize was that someone was watching them from a distance. The two kept driving along the desert highway. Suddenly, a black car sped up from behind. It quickly closed the distance and got right on their tail. Mike had no idea what the other driver was up to. He tapped the brakes, hoping the car would pass, but the black car stopped too, and just kept following behind them. Mike saw what was happening, and hit the gas. He tried to shake the black car off, but it stuck to them like glue. They both started getting nervous. Luckily, they spotted a diner up ahead. They quickly turned in to take cover. The black car didn't follow them in. They finally breathed a sigh of relief, but as soon as they stepped into the diner, something felt off. The place was huge, but there were only two old people sitting in the corner, and a woman standing by the entrance. No one else. Sarah wanted to leave, but the thought of that black car lurking nearby made her decide to stay for now. What they didn't realize was that the people in the diner weren't normal. After a short break, they hit the road again, laughing and chatting, trying to forget everything that had just happened. But just when they finally let their guard down, Sarah suddenly felt the car hit something. They quickly pulled over. Mike got out to take a look, but found nothing. The car was spotless, not a scratch, but the impact had felt so real, it left them even more unsettled. And then came the biggest shock. They had somehow ended up right back where they started. Mike looked behind them, and the black car was there again. He immediately sensed danger, ready to floor it. But Sarah had had enough. Furious, she stormed toward the black car. But the moment she saw the driver, she froze in fear and stumbled backward. She grabbed Mike and pulled him back into their car. Mike kept asking what she saw, but Sarah didn't say a word, just trembled as she started the engine. They hadn't gone far when the black car sped up behind them again. Mike saw Sarah was on the verge of tears. He was even more desperate to know what she'd seen, but Sarah still wouldn't talk. All she said was, "Call the police," but their phones had no signal at all. The black car suddenly accelerated and was about to ram into them, but just then, they realized they were back at the diner. Sarah drove straight into the parking lot. Just like last time, the black car didn't follow. As it drove away, Mike asked her what she had seen.
I don't know, but it wasn't a person.
After hearing Sarah's answer, he grabbed her and rushed into the diner to call the police. But the place was so remote, it would take the cops a few hours to get there. But Sarah didn't know that the person who contacted her was not the police. It was the manager of the diner. He even offered them a room, so they could spend the night. But the moment they stepped inside, Sarah saw something horrifying.